Hi, welcome to Russ's Kitchen, and this is my recipe for chicken jalfrezi, my favourite curry. Slightly different from what you would get in a restaurant because we're not using a base curry sauce or gravy, which is what you do get in a restaurant, which makes it delicious and it makes it very quick and easy for them to be able to turn out their meals. This, slightly different, just using fresh ingredients, but trust me, you're going to love this if you like curry. It's absolutely amazing. Let's have a look at what we're going to be using. I've got diced chicken breast. I've got 2.5 onions, a tomato, about half a red pepper or a green pepper, doesn't really matter. I've got garlic and ginger paste. Now garlic and ginger paste is really easy to make. You just need fresh ginger, garlic, and a ratio of about 3 garlic to 1 piece of ginger. Puree that up with some water, make sure it's nice and smooth. Now you don't want to be making this every time you make a curry, so make a batch, put it into some ice cube molds, freeze it, and that means you've got garlic and ginger paste whenever you like. Tomato puree, about 4 tablespoons. I've used tomato puree mixed with a little bit of water, and of course we've got wonderful spices. I'm going to be using ground chili, cumin seeds, and some turmeric, and that's all in my amazing little spice dabber or masala dabber. Let's start by cutting up our vegetables. The onion I'm going to be slicing quite thinly. The half of onion that I've got left over is going to be slightly bigger chunks. The pepper, again, bigger chunks. The tomato I'm going to de-seed and cut that into smaller pieces. So let's start with the onion. Everything's chopped up and it's all ready to go in. The first thing we're going to do is take our thinly sliced onion and we're going to put it into a heavy based pan and soften that down with some oil. Now don't be afraid to use quite a lot of oil. It's going to help the cooking, it's going to add to the flavour and the texture, and it's also going to make sure that the onion doesn't burn. So we're going to go in with at least a good 3 to 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And then we're going to take our onion, put that in. So our onions are now softened right down, they've got a little bit of colour on. The next thing we're going to do is take our garlic and ginger paste and put this in. Now garlic and ginger paste, it's going to tell you when it's cooked, which is brilliant. If you smell it, it's got a really raw smell to it, which is really nice. Once it's cooked, that smell will go and you'll notice the difference, and that will tell you when it's actually cooked through. Yeah, I can smell that now. That's really starting to cook through. Last thing we're going to do now is add our tomato puree. Going to turn the heat off. And that's done. We're now going to transfer this into a dish and puree it down, and that's going to be the base of our curry sauce. So our onion mixture is now into a blender. Add in some water. We're going to puree that down. Keep adding water until it makes a really smooth, nice curry sauce. So the onion mixture is ready. We're going to put some oil into our pan and fry off the cumin seeds until they're just slightly toasted. So we're going to go in with about a teaspoon of cumin seeds. And what we want to start looking at is the difference in colour. You can see they're going to start going nice and brown, and also you'll get the smell is going to be coming off those as they start to cook. And again, that's going to tell you when they're ready. You don't want to overcook them, don't burn them. So I can now see that those cumin seeds are now starting to change colour, and I can smell that wonderful aroma coming off them. So they're about ready. Next thing we're going to do is go in with our chicken. Now all we want to do is seal the outside of the chicken. We don't want to overcook it. If we overcook it, then the spices and all that wonderful flavour that we're making won't actually go into the meat. So there's our chicken, nice and sealed. We're now going to add in our vegetables. So we're now ready for our spices. We're going to go in with our chili, about a good teaspoon, and about half a teaspoon of turmeric. Now, very important that when you add ground spices, you then add a little bit of water to help that cook. I'm going to put this back onto the heat. Give it a bit of a mix round. And then we're going to add our onion mixture. I'm going to put some water into that. Give it another bit of a mix round. A little bit of salt. And I'm going to put the lid on and let that cook for about half an hour until that chicken is done and the sauce has really thickened up. Our curry has now been cooking for about half an hour. Now we check for seasoning. The only thing that you should be checking for with a curry is salt, whether it needs a little bit more. You don't need to check anything else, just for salt. So let's have a look at our finished curry. The smells are absolutely phenomenal. That is a really simple, gorgeous chicken jalfrezi.